Josh, how familiar are you with Pokemon and Pokemon cards?
I would say that I'm kind of familiar with it, especially after all these influencers
Hmm.
were like promoting these Pokemon cards.
Okay, so you know that there's a lot of value, I guess, with Pokemon cards.
Yes, 100%. There's a lot of
Okay.
value, especially with
Hmm.
a shiny Charizard.
So like that's what one like pretty normal people like assume would be because like that's what they grew up with and
hmm
stuff. But up here we have a newer card, and does that price shock you? And this actually shocks
100%.
me too.
Yes, it's 100%. Like literally anyone seeing this who is not in like I would imagine the Pokemon like card community,
Hmm.
it like they would be shocked. That's an astronomical amount of money for a card.
Honestly, it's an astronomical amount for a light play card, but that is not
Mm.
exactly what we're talking about today because today we're talking about how criminals are using
No,
Pokemon
yeah.
cards to launder money. And the
Mhm.
previous example was the Umbreon VMAX, which is or the Moonbreon, as a lot of people call, or people who like Pokemon or like collect Pokemon cards, they call it Moonbreon. But that's one of the cards that are in recent times has been like a very big chase card.
That's crazy. That is honestly insane.
And as you can see, the prices for Pokemon cards have like shot through the roof. And this has not gone without, notice from Team Rocket in real
Yo,
life.
yeah, Team Rocket in real life.
In real life. But we'll go more into this article in a second after consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button. We come with interesting topics like this one all the time, so make sure to hit that subscribe button to learn more. But really, I think with anything that has like intrinsic value, people are going to find a way,
To abuse it.
well, not maybe not even to abuse it, but more like to take advantage of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because like, what they're talking about here is the operation of taking dirty money, so like money that's been used or like
You're essentially wanting to clean the money, essentially get
money
new money from like
or
money obtained through illicit means.
yeah, so money obtained through illicit means a lot of times is like tracked and like
hmm
their police are looking out for it, but a lot of times these criminal organizations will go and then try to put their money into other things. A lot like I guess the most like one-to-one example is art.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So a lot of
100%.
times
Yeah.
um, organizations will put it into art, or like a lot of people speculate NFTs were being
Or
used, or
cryptocurrencies.
cryptos
Yeah,
were
yeah.
being used to like take this dirty money that was made through like
Illicit means.
illicit means, like through any number of ways.
And then get clean money from like other
Yeah,
people
from people
essentially.
who buy it or buy the NFT, or even if it's like pennies
Mm.
to the, even if they're like losing money, it's still clean money that they're getting back.
Yeah.
So the way that these
Criminals.
criminals, I guess, or like the Japanese criminals are using this is to go and buy Pokemon cards.
That's crazy. I would not have thought about that. Yeah, and I guess that's why they're doing it because like
Hmm.
to like an unsuspecting person, you wouldn't assume that
That
that criminals are
are
literally buying
using
Pokemon
buying
cards.
Pokemon
Yeah,
cards. But I mean, it's it makes sense though in terms of like buying something that other people want. Like the Pokemon community is very large, and the Pokemon trading space in terms of like cards and collecting space is very,
hmm
like very built out to where people are popping it up. Basically, if there's people willing to pay a price for a good, then
yeah.
that's how much it's worth. And then a lot of times a lot of these cards are so like rare and difficult to like either grade or just to have in general that they demand a premium. So we'll go to the Umbreon VMAX. So this is a very difficult card to pull.
This
Like
is
you're,
insane, by the way. Let me just tell you, $1,400
mhm.
for this card is a lot of money.
I mean, at $14, yeah, that's a lot of money for a piece of cardboard.
Yes, yes.
As people would put it, shiny cardboard, it can never, like, that's like,
It's lightly played. You mentioned it
yeah,
earlier.
this is the wild thing to me. Like,
Look at that. It's up there.
Yeah. The crazy thing for me is that the one that is being shown is for $1,400 basically, and it's light played, which means that it's not freshly out of the pack. It's not like mint condition or anything like that. Someone's used this card to actually play the game potentially, or put in their binder, and it's
It's in there.
it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
minty fresh. So the crazy thing is that if you look right here,
This is even crazier. That's like crazier over there. Look at
this
that.
graph, we're like looking at this, and it's like from when it was released till, well, maybe not when it's released, but like
A year
a
ago,
year
yeah.
ago, it went from being $500, still very crazy
It's still
expensive,
very expensive.
to now being like basically 3x at this point.
That's well, 500. It's almost, yeah, it's almost doubled in price. Well, most recent sale, as you
Mm-hmm.
can see there, is $1,300.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. It's almost tripled in sale. That's, you know how much better than the stock market that is?
It's like crypto value.
Don't get it twisted. You could only go up from here.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
The wild thing is that you can look at the different like levels, and you can see like, oh, near min, but these are all Chinese versions. So like obviously the thing is that each variation in terms of like what language it's in demands a different premium. So like a English version usually demands more of a premium than a Chinese or a Japanese version of the same card. So
So I will say the only exposure that, I really have to like Pokemon cards is like what I mentioned earlier, is that I saw influencers buying Pokemon cards, opening Pokemon cards, and then like
mhm.
getting them graded or like looking at the value of them.
Yeah,
And the biggest one
was the
being,
Charizard.
yeah, was the Charizard one.
Yeah, the Charizard one, like if you had kept one in perfect condition, can be pretty expensive,
Hmm.
but most people didn't. So that's like a lot of the reason why a perfect condition one is so expensive, because you can't really, it's really difficult to find.
Yeah.
So back to the criminal organization Team Rocket. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of different ways to get these cards. So it's not every single card obviously that makes money. So if you're like looking at the different packs and stuff, it's like, okay, they're not all worth a bazillion dollars.
Yeah,
But I
that's
mean, even still, this is the latest set that came out for English, which is Surging Spark, and everybody was chasing after this card, the Pikachu card.
Pikachu is like the most iconic character on Pokemon. Oh, it's a nice looking card.
It is nice,
I
but
I
like
don't
a
think it's I
500
don't I
card.
don't think it's $500 looking nice, by the way.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
for like a lot of times there's like a graded card versus non-graded card, etc. But this is for a it's honestly because it's very difficult to pull. Like when I say pull, I mean like you're opening the packs and you're like, oh, you have a chance, and the chance is so low to actually find this card that like many people to complete their collection or to like get it will
Mhm.
pay a lot of money to get it.
To get it, dang, that's crazy.
And as you said, Pikachu is one of the most iconic. But the criminals are now like, if you're going to the like older sets, I'm not sure about the newer ones, but at least with the older ones, one of the issues was people using, as they say here, scales to go and weigh the certain
Oh
packs.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Certain packs are very like the ones that have holographic cards are like weigh
Heavier.
more,
Yeah.
and the ones that don't weigh less. And so what they would do, if that's what they're doing, as this article portrays, they're gonna go and take the ones that are heavy and then open those ones to get the cards out, and then only sell the ones that are
Hmm.
light.
That's crazy. It's such a like so I will say the only card game I used to play Magic long,
Mm,
long time ago. By the
Magic
way,
also is one of the
Magic
ones.
Magic is also very expensive.
Hmm.
All the older set cards and all those, yeah, just in general, very card games are very expensive.
Yeah,
But like I never got into Pokemon. Maybe I should have got into Pokemon.
I mean,
Looking at these prices,
you still can. There's
oh
the next
God.
set is gonna be pretty crazy. So I think I think the next step in terms of like how would you even combat this? I don't think that's really anything people can really do, because it's like if you're trying to sell your cards and then people are willing to buy more,
Mhm.
it's just kind of like it reminds me of like crypto where
Yeah.
um maybe the prices are being inflated because people are using the cards to take their money to
To take
launder the
money.
money where like they're like, oh, they're putting their money into like, oh, someone has the Moonbryon, right? So they
Yeah.
have this card like, oh, if you're trying to if your goal is to get your money clean,
Hmm.
you just buy this card and then even if you like sell it later for less, and then it's still clean money coming back in. The other person
So
gets the
so
dirty
j-
money.
so he showed me a video, by the way, of how these things work. Apparently, you go into
Like
um
Collecticon,
yeah, Collecticon, and like these people are like
like card shows.
for the card shows, a lot of people take cash,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Fat stack.
crazy. Yes, you could take a fat stack of cash and you could literally just spend all you could
Wheel and deal is just
you could wheel and deal, especially if you're like I will say, if you're a criminal wanting to get his money clean, you could literally go to this place, buy all these cards in cash,
mm-hmm.
and then just start selling the cards. Just be
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, it's like go to a different vendor and be like, hey, I'll sell you this for less.
For
Like,
less,
what would
but
you take?
still, like it's still a
Yes.
good
Yes, that is
turnaround.
crazy. Like where else? I mean, you're probably doing this in other places, but like for this, there's a market for it. There's an
Yeah,
active market. People
active
are taking
market,
cash. It's
cash.
so, yeah.
Well,
It's
they're taking cash or like obviously they take
a
like
card or
Zelle
something like that.
or yeah Venmo.
Yeah, but you're not gonna refuse cash.
That's true.
Literally,
Typically, cash values is cash is king.
it's because first off, you don't get charged with the fees. You don't get charged with
Mm-hmm.
any of like if you have it like through like because I'm pretty sure Venmo you probably have to pay taxes on if you
Oh,
have a business or
the new one is that you after a certain
threshold.
amount spent, yeah, there's a threshold for a business,
Hmm.
and like after a certain threshold, you start getting
You don't have that with
paying
cash.
taxes. That's very true.
Yeah, so if you
Under
take
the
cash,
table.
yeah, if you take cash, so I can see why criminals would do this.
But I mean, if you stay this long, consider subscribing because yeah, it only helps to support the channel. But I think it's weird in that because they're doing this, I think it's helping prop up
The Pokemon market,
the
yeah.
Pokemon market because like if it's there's also like there's a good flow of money coming in that isn't like dirty,
Yeah,
and then like there's genuine interest in the hobby, and
yeah.
it's like in terms of like the market and like the market is holding very stable in terms of like interest. Like people
Mm.
are wanting to go in. They buy like, oh, like you could have bought this card and like just like a stock, you buy it and you're like, oh, I think it's gonna keep going up, and then you speculate on it and then it does. So I mean, the Pokemon card economy is pretty good, at least in terms of like some of the rare cards or more desirable cards. So
Yeah, and I do know that there is very like there's a very high interest in Pokemon.
mhm.
Pokemon games always come out, Pokemon shows,
Yeah,
lots of stuff.
there's always new sets coming out. So I think it always keeps the hobby very alive. So
Yeah.
I think weirdly enough, if you're a Pokemon enthusiast, it's weird that this like type of cash infusion helps prop up
Mm.
your car's values.
So let me ask you this. Do you think the value of this card would skyrocket if an influencer comes out with it around their neck
Mhm.
about to box someone?
Of course. Of
I think
course.
yeah.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think that they should be, well, I'm guessing they're trying to crack down on it, but I mean, what can you really do where it's like it's hard to tell if you're it's just a genuine collector going.
Yeah, that's
How would
true.
you know like
You
their
wouldn't be
money
able to.
you wouldn't be able to tell like the money is real typically.
Yeah.
Like you go there and you check and you're like, "Oh, it's real money." So, I do wonder how it's going to go cuz like I guess this is my last thing is that like playing cards and stuff like this is effectively what an NFT is really. Where
It
like
is 100%, by the way. I was gonna
that's
say that too.
like or crypto really. Cuz
Hmm.
like the crypto is like based on how many people want the thing. Like it's like like you believe in this. There's only so many of these cards available, and because there's only a finite amount of cards that they printed.
It's like an in real life non-fungible token.
It's true, yeah.
It's
Trading
just
cards.
like that.
It's trading card, but at least you have the piece of paper, like the
Yeah.
cardboard. Like that's what you're valuing. So it's like it's a bit different. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
different though. You can't exactly like
No,
copy
no,
and paste it.
no, you can't copy and paste it. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you can't do that.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you collect Pokemon cards? Did you used to collect Pokemon cards? I know a lot of people were trying to find their old Pokemon cards and get them graded, but yeah, I would want to hear from our audience in the comment section down below.